everybody, it's Connie with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you could join me today. Guys, I have a gorgeous card for you today. This is created with the Dear Doily stamp set. And what I loved about this is I have three different options. It can be sympathy, it can be thank you, or it can be friendship. You notice my sentiment there, words cannot express. It's the inside of the card that determines what kind of card, what words you are trying to express, and that'll be on the inside. Now, speaking of the inside, there's something a little special in here. Before I show it to you, I just have to tell you about my oops moment. I smudged the inside. I dropped the stamp on the inside of the card. Got navy ink all over the left side of the card. I went, well, now I have to start all over. But then I had a light bulb moment. I've got this little bit of designer series paper here. This is the Garden Impressions designer series paper. And I had a lot of it left over because I only needed that little strip. So what did I do? I just covered it up. And then I looked at it and went, this is like the most gorgeous card ever. That designer paper just made the whole inside of the card look absolutely amazing. I'm now having one of those, why didn't I think about doing that a long time ago moments? Anyone else? All right, well, I say we get started with our card. Let's go check it out and see how easy this one is to make. All right, let's go over the supplies and the stamp sets we're going to use today. I'm going to be using a brand new stamp set called Dear Doily. Guys, a beautiful stamp set, but I wanted to make sure to tell you this one also comes as a bundle and has some amazing doily framelits. We're not going to be using those today. We're going to stick with just the stamp set. And also note, it is one of our new cling. I love these. All right, let's go over the card stock. I'm going to be using Saffron as my card base, and pay attention, these measurements are a little bit different. 8 inches by 5.5 inches, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4, so you're going to have this little spot open right there. I have 3 pieces of Whisper White. This is for the inside of the card, and this one measures 3.5 by 5 1/4. This is the front focal image, 3 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have a little piece of scrap. Mine is like 1 inches by 5, but whatever scrap you have, and that's going to be for our flowers here. I also have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, 3 1/4 inch by 4 inches. I've got 2 pieces of the Garden Impressions designer series paper. This piece here is 3.5 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have another little strip. This is 1/2 inch by 5.5. All right, let's go ahead and get to stamping. I'm going to bring in a Night of Navy ink pad, and I'm going to use the sentiment Words Can't Express. We're going to stamp that right down here in the bottom right corner. All right, and since we have our Night of Navy ink pad out, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Now there's 3 different inside sentiments to choose from. We're gonna stamp that about 2/3 of the way down. All right, my Night of Navy stamping is done. We're now going to come in with the soft seafoam ink pad. Let's go ahead and stamp our stem. And we're going to place that about here. I want it to kind of wrap around my words just a little bit. And now for our last color, Saffron. We've got a lot we're going to stamp here in Saffron. Let me go ahead and get my inside sentiment done first. I'm going to take that small doily and let's stamp these right over our sentiment. I can set that off to the side. I'm going to bring in that little scrap, and we have this wonderful little flower here. I'm going to stamp 5 of these. And now I'll come in with my card base and that great big doily. We're going to stamp 3 of these here on our card base. 1, 2, and then we'll get one right over here on the end. Okay, all of the stamping is done, and we can start to put our card together. Let's go ahead and do a little punching on this piece here. I have a 3/4 inch circle punch, and I have a 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm going to cut out, or punch out, I should say, 2 of these flowers with the 3/4 inch punch. And now with the 1/2 inch punch, we're going to get the center. We'll punch out the remaining ones as 1/2 inch circles. All right, guys, it is time to put our card together. I'm going to begin with the designer series paper. I'll add some snail to the back of that, and let's fill in this little opening right here on the side. We'll add that other piece of designer series paper here on the left side inside of our card. My inside sentiment will center up right here on the right side. Now let's work on the front of our card. Let's adhere our front focal image to that Night of Navy. And then I'll add this to the front of my card right there. All right, time to put those flowers on. Now for these two big ones, I'm going to add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back. And we'll add one right here to the top. This one we're going to add right down here. Notice it kind of comes off a little bit. I actually like that. Now with these, we can add snail or you can use mini glue dots. I'm a fan of the mini glue dots. The glue dots just make them really easy to adhere. We can take these and we're just going to kind of fill in one right there and our last one right there. Now, I thought it looked really pretty, but I do like to add a little something extra to my cards. Whenever I use these softer colors, I just find linen thread to be the perfect touch. To do that, I'm just going to take one of the mini glue dots and you can see I'm just kind of rolling it into a little ball. I can add that ball right there to the base and then press my linen bow, my linen thread bow right there. Again, optional, but what do you think? I think it really adds to the card. There you go, guys, a very fast and easy card. I love the Dear Doily, but you know, I have to tell you, I think it was my big oops moment that made this card so stunning. Who knew just adding that little bit of designer paper would add so much to a card? I hope that you'll give this one a try. Now, if you want to find out more information, I had a lot of measurements on there, I know. So if you'll head over to simplysimplestamping.com and just look for the January 3rd, 2019 blog post. That's where I'll have all the information. I'll have those measurements, the supply list. So if you'd like to order that Dear Doily stamp set, you can just click the pick and you'll have it delivered right to you. It's really awesome. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the card today. If you really enjoyed it, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the video. I always appreciate that and it helps me to know what you want to see more of. But more than anything, if you liked what you saw, hit that big red subscribe button. And when you do, you'll get notifications every time I have a new video or when I do a YouTube Live. So be sure to click that button. And guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out simplysimplestamping.com. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.